Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And today, we're going to be talking about finding your balance. One feather, one step at a time, so that you can build your wings and soar. So how do we find our balance? One feather, one step at a time. We have an amazing guest today who's going to share some of her journey with us and some of how significant feathers have been and being able to take those steps, build her wings one feather at a time. I know you're going to be inspired. I know you're going to be encouraged. I suspect you're going to get some beautiful messages just for you. So I'm very honored that each of you are tuning in today. Open, breathing in deeply, ready to receive. Because I know there is something for you today by the very nature that you have tuned in. It's not by accident. It's not by chance. It's because there's something here for you. And I want you to receive everything that is going to be supportive and empowering for you on your journey. So to support that, I want to invite you to take a deep breath in through the nose. I like to visualize all the way to the toes. And then out a little more. And then out through your mouth, like through a straw. Beautiful. So often we're moving so quickly, we're actually forgetting to stretch our lungs. Take a deep breath and really breathe in. So I encourage you to take a moment and really do that. And as you're breathing in and feeling your lungs expand and how great that oxygen feels as it comes and circulates through your body, and you breathe out that which no longer serves, it gives you room to breathe in deeply and take in all that is here for you. I want to invite you to open your ears to hear, your heart to receive. Really lean into this conversation with anticipation and excitement and expectation as far as you know there's something here, even if you don't know what it is. You're open to it and to receiving that which will serve and support you. So take another beautiful breath in. Beautiful. And as you're breathing, I invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. I put both hands on my heart just to really tune in and feel that heartbeat. And then feeling in between the heartbeats. And we take a moment to just truly, deeply connect with ourselves and see, what is it you need today? When we talk about finding your balance, what is it that comes up that you need that will serve, support, and empower you? Not asking how, just what. What is it you need, or perhaps you're being reminded of, to support you today? Beautiful. What is it that you need and that you are willing to receive, because we have choice. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive to empower and support you real time on your journey? Beautiful. Let's take that information in, that feeling, that reminder, that image, whatever way that information came through. Sometimes it's as simple as, wow, it felt really good to just slow down for a moment and breathe. Beautiful. Let's take one more big breath. Open up our eyes, become fully present as we lean into our conversation today. Take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? In fact, I encourage you to keep that notepad nearby so as thoughts and ideas and insights either come from the conversation or bubble up within you during the conversation so you can capture them, keep them top of mind, and help you move forward in a powerful, empowered, and balanced way. Beautiful. With that, Mackenzie, I'd love for you to share what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to just stop, pause, breathe, and listen.
Wow. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for asking, and thank you for having me say it's such an honor. I really was just moved unexpectedly in that moment. I feel like I saw a listener who is listening live right now to your show, and I saw a feather kind of gently falling on them. And like that feather, they were feeling fragile, they're feeling weak, and they're feeling unsupported in their journey. And I just want to tell that listener right now that, there's a whole wing for you waiting, actually a set of them. And you can collect these feathers, and together we are definitely better. There is support for you. And so be encouraged today as you listen and write down some of the tips that you hear us sharing, because I really do believe you'll get another feather to add to your wings today.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, for seeing that listener, and for honoring and encouraging one feather at a time that,
yes.
We're not alone, and that there's not just a single feather. There's a set of feathers, a set of wings actually here and available, and something each of us it can lean into. What an important reminder, and how encouraging. Thank you, Mackenzie. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Absolutely. I think for myself, I just felt connection, a slowing down, a stillness, a peace that we get to carve out this time together and mindfully, purposely connect in, tune in, and listen and see and discover what's coming forward. And we get to do that together. And so I'm excited for the conversation. I'm excited to see what bubbles up and what will serve and support each of you. And I want you to know that each of you are important and part of this conversation, and we are here. Feel free to send questions in, or to call, or even if you're listening to the replay, you can still send that question in or that thing you're wondering, and we'll be happy to respond and support and get back to you, because together we can move forward in such powerful ways. So and I love that feathers, because they're gentle too. There's a gentleness in them, and they can be sheltering, and they can be supportive, and they can help us soar and fly. So I just love that image of the feather in so many ways that it can come in and support us. Listeners, as we go to our first commercial break, this is actually your time. This is time for you to really listen, feel, take in, and discover what's going to be important to you. And we celebrate you being here, you tuning in, and allowing us this space and time to connect. So enjoy these 2 minutes, and we'll continue our conversation in just a moment.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. It's amazing what a difference 2 minutes can make when we just take a moment to pause and connect in and listen. We've built those moments throughout the show to support you. So I hope that you take advantage of those opportunities to just pause and feel in and see, what is happening for you? What are you feeling? What are you discovering? And it also gives you a time to process, to integrate, and really take in on a cellular level. Instead of adding things to the to-do list and more pressure and more things, it's an opportunity to be and to receive and breathe in and process real time with all of us connected and with that support. So I encourage you to use those times. They're built in by design, on purpose, just for you. So we are talking with the amazing Mackenzie Nelson. You got to hear a little bit from her on a heart level this morning and some of what she saw when she took a moment to tune in and listen. And I wanted to share just a little bit of her background and information so you have a little bit of a context for amazing Mackenzie. And then we're going to talk about some of her heart and what is laid on that and some of her journey and what she's been led to bring forward. So very excited. Let me take a moment and introduce more formally the amazing Mackenzie Nelson. She is a #1 international bestselling author, podcast host of High Voltage, a restaurant owner, book launch specialist at the RHG Media Productions team and organization. She is a former high school all-star basketball player and author of her soon-to-be-released My Father's Feathers that you're going to learn a little bit more about today and some of the significance of that feather and why that picture that she got meant so much to her in the opening segment. She is passionate about helping others find hope and healing in their lives. 3 pages and a feather at a time. Please lean in and warmly welcome the dynamic and powerful and heart-centered Mackenzie Nelson to the show. Welcome.
Yay. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that fantastic introduction. I am thrilled to be here, honored, and I just think the world of you and your organization and what you've built and what you've done for me personally. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome, Mackenzie. I'm thrilled and honored. I feel like it's such a privilege and honor that I get to call you and count you as a friend, have you as part of our organization, one of our authors, like so many amazing things that we're getting to do together. And I'm excited to share you with the world. I know that you have such a heart to serve that it's going to, I'm excited for what will come forward in our conversation today. So thank you for leaning in, saying yes, and generously giving your time and heart to our conversation today.
I'm thrilled to be here. I'm so honored. Thank you for those words. I count you as a dear friend as well. And, a lot changed in my life when I met you for the better, and it just continues to evolve and get better. So I'm grateful.
Oh, well, thank you. I so appreciate that, and I'm thrilled for all that's happening and coming. And I thought a great place to start and have people get to know you a little bit is about this feather, because we opened the show talking about a feather and finding your balance one feather at a time and that image that you got. And so in that and seeing that picture of that feather gently coming down and supporting that listener out there, I would love for you to share what is the deal with the feathers? Why is a feather important to you? What does that mean? Why is that significant in your life?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking me. Feathers have become such an important part of my journey and have come to represent so many varied things to me. It all started back, I want to say a good 5 years ago after I had my little girl, Nevada. I almost died after giving birth to her. And luckily, my life was saved. However, I struggled greatly with chronic pain. For a few years, I was in and out of so many doctor's appointments looking for explanations. And during the duration of this time, I had purchased a portrait of a feather just from Hobby Lobby that was sitting in my living room. And for some reason, like nothing else in my home, when I would look at this feather, it would like draw me in, almost like I was a part of it, and I could feel this unity with it. And I would hear, the feathers will bring you together. I was like, what does that mean? I was just, fascinated with this feather, and it just became this thing that kind of gave me some joy looking at it and just feeling I would spend, 15 minutes, 20 minutes just looking and hearing these things and feeling these insights and just moving my heart. And so I knew I was connected with this feather. And during this time, I was a lot like this feather, like a singular feather, just flying about from doctor's appointment to doctor's appointment, fragile, frail, looking for support. Who would help me in this chronic journey, just wanting so badly to be united with other feathers. And sure enough, as time progressed and I was led to start writing my book 3 pages a day, this feather kept coming up. And, we have my father's feathers now coming out here in the next couple of weeks. So here we are.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. And I love how you just allowed that experience with the feather to speak to you and to encourage and to focus and feel that direction, and followed as you were led, and writing 3 pages a day eventually has brought your powerful book forward, My Father's Feathers. It's going to be releasing soon. We'll be talking about that. And one of the things I have noticed as we've gone on our journey, it's almost like these feathers, a single feather here and there, is an encouragement, a message. There's a significance. It's a way that God speaks to you and communicates with you and shows you. And I know even with the cover design of your picture, your cover design includes feathers. And I'd love for you to just describe that a little bit and kind of what that means, just so people gain additional insight on the significance of feathers in your life.
So due to the journey that I had, growing up, I endured trauma, physical, sexual, emotional abuse, and did not feel safe. I didn't feel protected or sheltered. And the feather, as I started, to come out of this chronic health journey and kind of understand what was going on with me, the feathers started to mean so much more about speaking to unity, safety, protection, just with other people and new relationships that have been brought into my life. And, with my relationship with God and seeing him more as this safe place where I can find shelter under his feathers and under his wings, and understanding that, I wasn't meant to journey as a singular, fragile feather. When more feathers come together, we actually have the ability to soar and fly. And that comes when we lift one another up, when we spread positive messages of encouragement, when we just reach out, whether that's a text or a phone call to a friend, and let them know, hey, you're not alone. I'm here. How can I support you? Just when you feel that tug on your heart, don't ignore it. Reach out to that person, because I have come to find in my own journey that when you feel led to do something like that, when you act on it, you actually start to see this pattern forming where it's actually bringing your relationships closer together. And then you can find safety in those trusted friendships and feel more protection and know that you're not alone and you're stronger together.
Mm, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I love that reminding us that when we get those prompts, when we get that tug to listen, to take that action, that it matters. And we can be that shelter for another, that encouragement for another. We can bring our feathers together. I like how you said it brings our relationships together. And that's really powerful in those connections. So honoring that, following that, don't push it off or, yeah, eventually I'll do that. Just do that little reach out and touch and encourage. And sometimes I find it's even just letting that person know, hey, I've been thinking about you and you've been on my heart and I just wanted you to know I care for you. I love you. And I just had that on my heart and spirit. And so I wanted to take the moment and share. It's going to make them smile and they're going to feel that love and that connection. It makes a difference. So thank you for sharing. And I love all the different ways feathers have woven together in your life and in your spirit, and going from that coming together to creating that shelter. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And one of the things, absolutely, that you mentioned is that when you started that relationship with the feather picture from Hobby Lobby, and you were leaning into that, and you started to have this pull to start writing, and that 3 pages a day. Can you share a little bit about what that was and how many pages did that end up becoming? And just share a little bit about that, because I feel like a lot of people want to write someday and it can feel daunting and intimidating. So I'd love for you to share.
Great. Well, that's an awesome question. Thanks, Rebecca. I really, I had like an overnight spiritual encounter, and it just rocked my world. And this is also included in my book. And the next day I woke up, I heard this clear, strong, lovely, peaceful voice. And it was just like, hey, you're a writer. Start by writing 3 pages a day. And I was like, well, that's a strange thing. I've never written anything. What, where is that coming from? And what does that mean? And the longer I kept hearing it every day, it was for about a month and a half, I heard 3 pages a day, you're a writer. And so finally, just kind of like really getting sick of hearing it, I was like, okay, fine, I'll write my 3 pages. And it was just really nothing special. It was just, hey, this is what I did today, and this is what was going on, and kind of check that box off. But as the months progressed and more pages were being written, I was starting to discover, memories were being unlocked, trauma that had been buried and I couldn't access them were being released. And I started to understand that I didn't even know my own story. And it blew my mind. And as I noticed different things I was writing about, if I was really angry, at one point I could read that back and see, wow, I have some healing to do with this relationship. I need to forgive this person. And it was just so interesting how blind I was to myself before I started the process of writing and uncovering and discovering myself in the process. And what I loved, I learned about, I do like writing. I do like reading. I was a movie girl before, and I just thought that's my thing. But now through this process of writing 3 pages a day, I'm loving to read. I'm loving that more than watching television. So it's really just shifted all of these core values that I thought I held and who I was, and just discovering through healing and seeing different patterns that I was engaged in that weren't serving me well. I was able to acknowledge those, and then I could address them and develop some kind of a plan to grow in those areas. So I was astounded to discover all the implications in so many areas of my life that were impacted and strengthened and continue to be, because I'm never going to be a finished product, and the goal is not perfection, but the goal is definitely to evolve and become the best version of myself that I can be.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I love the journey that it took you on. So when it was like, I don't understand, but okay, voice, I'll do this. And then And then taking that on and discovering so much about yourself and processing and releasing and growing and creating this great space for you to connect on a deeper and deeper level and move forward in so many ways. Very, very exciting. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about, maybe a question, could I write or should I write? Would it help me to write 3 pages a day? Just kind of put that question down and see if that's something that might be supportive of you, something to ponder and explore and reflect on some of what Mackenzie has shared in these next 2 minutes and just see what speaks to you, what's bubbling up, what's coming forward, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world, hosted by NYLC CEO Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and got a chance to just really soak in all of the beautiful insight and sharing that Mackenzie has brought to the show and shared with us. And one of the things she talked about is her journey of 3 pages a day and how that just really transformed her relationship with herself and her journey. It also produced lots of pages that she went back through and felt led to bring her story forward. And that is coming forward. It's going to be launching here in September on the 20th. I want everyone to put that on their calendar, September 20th. Because there's something really special about that day that you'll be able to lean into around this book. But let me have her share a little bit about her book, My Father's Feathers. And I'd love for you to share why you felt led to write your story, to go back through those pages and really bring the words that you selected forward. And what is your hope for people in bringing this book forward?
That's a great question. So I got connected. I didn't know anything about publishing. I had no idea how this would be published. And one of the gifts I feel I've been given is dreams and visions. And I was actually led via a vision of seeing my book published with me sitting at the kitchen table while my little girl is playing on the side. And I woke up, and at this point, I'd been writing for a few months, but I had no idea what my book was about sure how it was going to get published. And around the same time, I got connected with you, Rebecca, and I knew it was a God thing. I felt so led to work with you, and through the process that you guided me through in prayer and leaning into which materials should be selected and which should not be selected, I was able to write this story. And what I feel has come together is just this amazing manuscript filled with pages of hope and encouragement that no matter what has happened in your life, no matter how hard your past has been, God has a beautiful new future for you, and you're never, ever too far gone. And we each have the ability, we're a singular feather, but we have this ability through pressing into God to hear this voice and to be led into our destiny. And that is really what really drew me when selecting material, was speaking more about destiny along the lines of it's not just something, for Star Wars. It's something applicable to our daily life. And it was a really, it was not as hard of a process as I thought it was going to be, because truthfully, I feel like Rebecca's guidance, it was just so spot on. And it was actually a really enjoyable process to get the book the way that it is right now. And I can't wait for everyone to read it and to hear the feedback. And I just hope that it really helps anyone listening to this right now with whatever circumstances you're going through. There is a way that despite your circumstances remaining unchanged, that you can be elevated above them with a new perspective and feeling more encouraged and strengthened to face whatever journey you're on and whatever you are dealing with currently.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I know to help the readers, like, you were very mindful and purposeful in what you selected to have in the book, and in that intention to really encourage and help and share. And you were very authentic and transparent and real in the journey and in what you shared, and vulnerable. And I found such great encouragement in it and inspiration in what you shared in your journey, what you discovered, what you learned. And one of the things I think is really neat that you have in your book are your opinion points that you have added in to add additional support and help for the reader. So I'd love for you to share what is opinion and what are opinion points, so that they know when they have that chance to lean into your powerful book, that that's waiting for them inside.
So that's a great question too. I hope they are so helpful to them, but I got a kick out of, I'm a writer, so words, they are kind of my thing now in the last few years. And I discovered, when opinion is described as a noun, it's just simply the part of a bird's wing, including the flight feathers. But when you use it as a verb, the definition changes and it takes on new meaning. It can mean to make a bird incapable of flight by removing that part of the wing from which the flight feathers grow. So I called them pinion points because, the areas in my life that I once felt like my wings were clipped and I couldn't fly, they actually have become the exact same areas that have transitioned to take on a whole new meaning and where I've experienced the most freedom. And I just think that these pinion points have the ability to encourage anyone who reads this book to know that the hurt, the trauma you've suffered, I think a lot of people tend to turn and run because when you confront that, it's very painful to work through it. However, when you do, you find that actually you can move through that and you come out on the other side soaring and stronger than you were before. And so that's the beauty, I think, and the power that is in this book to serve the reader is that, nothing is wasted in your life. Everything can have purpose and it can be used to build you up in the same areas that once tore you down.
Beautiful. And they can become your own pinion points. I love it.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for sharing. And this book, My Father's Feathers, is coming out on September 20th. So I was just reminding everybody what is special or is happening that day that I'm asking them to write it on their calendars.
Ooh, well, so my birthday is coming up on the 23rd. We thought it would be so much fun to have, my new solo book coming out around the same time and just make it even a more extended celebration, and just so much fun for you, the reader, to support me for my birthday. Don't get me a present. Just go ahead and take advantage of that launch date price of $1.99, and I will be thrilled.
Because we want you to become a bestseller by your birthday. Your book.
Yeah.
That's the birthday gift.
Bestseller for my birthday. Help me make that happen.
I love that. I love that. So her book, in honor of her birthday and the release of it, this will be the digital version. So you're able to read it on any device that you're able to connect with the internet on and enjoy. Will be available for $1.99, but it's limited time. So it's for the first 24, possibly 48 hours. So I encourage you to mark that on your calendar. Let's make our beautiful Mackenzie's birthday wish come true and encourage a lot of hearts and lives as we do that. I feel like we all need that encouragement and that support and those reminders in our lives. And this book is a powerful way to encourage and support you on your walk and on your journey. And you may even feel led to start collecting feathers and start writing 3 pages a day. You might find that happens as you interact with this beautiful book. So I encourage you to write that on your calendar. We're going to be promoting and sharing it out as well. So if you watch our social media posting, and Mackenzie, I don't know if you can share, is there a way they can get on your list so they'll get an email that day so they don't miss out?
Oh, definitely. Yes. I have a website. Thanks for asking, Rebecca. It's www.mackenzieknelson.com. K is spelled K-A-Y. And all you have to do is go on there, scroll to the bottom, and there's a little area where you can insert your email, pop it in, hit the button, and you will be the first to be notified when my book launches. And I'm actually thinking about doing some giveaways too, so I might surprise you with something there, so you'll definitely want to go get on that list.
I love that. Beautiful. So everyone heard that here. Check that out. I encourage you to go on our site, sign up, and get as much of Mackenzie as you can, as well as I know this book will touch and encourage and inspire. It did for me as I got to be part of it, reading it as it was being created. And I know that it'll encourage you, and you'll feel that same loving, positive, real energy you're hearing from and feeling from Mackenzie. It'll be woven throughout the book. So I encourage you to put that on your list. And then there's a couple other things I wanted to have you touch on as well, Mackenzie, because this whole journey that you've gone on has led to so many different things. So one of them, in writing and bringing forward My Father's Feathers, you've also felt this prompting to help support people in writing 3 pages a day. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about that, the journal and the forthcoming programs and things that you are looking to bring forward to help people on their transformational journey.
Yes, definitely. I'm so excited about the journal that's going to be accompanying my book. It is specially formatted in the pages, so you'll have 30 pages that you can write on, and you can start your own 3 pages a day journey, whether you're looking to heal or, even leave a legacy for your children. Write your thoughts in these pages and just have something that they can access and know more about you. I think that is just a beautiful memento to pass on to children as well. And it does have the capacity. You could buy multiple journals and you could label them by month, and you could keep track of all of your thoughts. And there's just so many different applications for 3 pages a day, whether you're looking to even start your own business or learn about yourself or grow in a certain area. You can journal and you can learn more just by, committing a very small part of your day to those 3 pages. And I think that's the thing that stops most people in their tracks. And the feedback I've been getting individually from people is just, you say you wrote a book and they're like, I could never do that immediately, just like I couldn't. And I'm like, well, why couldn't you? Well, I don't have the time. But do you have the time to commit, 3 pages of writing? And then, that kind of shifts things for them a bit. Like, oh, when you break it down, That's why I like my father's feathers. It's about a singular feather, because when you break those feathers down, it's a lot easier to accomplish a task a little bit at a time than it is to look at, oh, I'm going to get out there and just grab these wings and soar. No, you have to take the baby steps. So you get your wings and then you're flying. And that's how you can get your wings, is by sharing, 3 pages a day with yourself and learning more about yourself in the process, just like I did.
I love it. And you even have the little feather in the corner on every page as well that I love. Sprinkled throughout the journal. So that reminder of all the feathers. So I love that. Beautiful.
Encouraging quotes throughout the journal, just things that keep you motivated when you get in there, and just hopefully you just feel encouraged and led to feel you're in a safe space and you can just let your guard down. And that really, doing that for me 3 pages a day, taking that time, just helped me grow so much, because I knew that was my time, something special that I was committed to, that I was doing for myself.
Yep. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that. And listeners, I hope that you're hearing this opportunity 3 pages at a time to really connect, go deeper, listen, discover, sort through what you think, what you feel, process. It can be such a powerful experience. And I love that you're creating this journal to support people and kind of create that framework to help them do that and break it down step by step, feather by feather, baby feathers, the soft feathers at a time. So I love that.
I love it.
And then you also have been led to launch and create a podcast. So all of this started one little feather at a time. And I'd love for you to share the title of your podcast and a little bit about it and how we can tune in. What is it about? Please share.
Yes, thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, the latest addition to where I'm feeling led to move is in the podcast realm, and that I think we're looking at my 5th episode coming out this week, so it's something very new, and the name of it is High Voltage. And lightning, especially like the feather, has come to represent a big portion of my journey, and that I started to view it more in the realm of like an energizing factor. Lightning can shock us into present awareness and has that, significance and that symbol of that shock. And that's really kind of what happened in my journey. Was this overnight encounter kind of shocked me into awareness of who I really was and how important just living in the present moment is. And just being aware that so many of us are still living in past confinements, mentalities, stigmas, and words that have been spoken over them that are still limiting them and that are just lies, because they are loved, accepted, and known for who they are right in this very moment, regardless of anything that they have done, what they have been in the past. You can leave that all behind and you can choose to focus on your present moment and who you are in that present moment. And that's where all the magic happens. And that's what the show is about, exploring all these different topics, spirituality, just encouraging ideas and ways of living our life, taking some time out of your busy schedule just to be present with me. And hopefully I can, through my journey and sharing my experiences, help you live your life fully charged and engaged.
Beautiful. Thank you. I love it. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, remember that's a moment for you, an opportunity to process, see what's speaking to your heart, to your spirit, listen, receive. Maybe write down that September 20th date on your calendar, perhaps taking a moment and seeing how can you dial in and recharge and bring that in. And I love that perspective on lightning and her beautiful show. We'll share where you can find that and her additional contact information in a moment. But take these 2 minutes for you to really process, receive, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. voiceamericaempowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. I hope that you have a page full of insights or tips, or maybe one key thing, one feather you can add to your wings to support you, to encourage you on your journey. We've shared a lot of different insights and tips, and Mackenzie shared about her beautiful book coming out, her amazing podcast, and some of her journey and what she's discovered and is bringing forward and sharing out in the world. So I hope that it's inspired you. I hope it's encouraged you. And I want to make sure for those of you who are like, I just feel drawn to Mackenzie and I want to be able to connect further. I want to follow her on her shows. I want to build her energy and some of what she's bringing forward into my life. And so with that, Mackenzie, I'd love for you to share what is the best way for people to tune into your show, to connect, to go deeper. We'd love to have you share.
Okay, great. Well, there's a few ways you could do it. You could go directly to YouTube, and you could look me up at tinyurl.com/Mackenzie Nelson YT is the address, or you could always look me up on Facebook. I have an About the Author page, Mackenzie Nelson, and all of the episodes are posted there weekly as well. And if you did have anything on a one-on-one basis that you feel like I could serve you with and we could talk, you can always go to my website, MackenzieKNelson.com, and I do have a 30-minute free session that I really encourage you to take advantage of. I've had, a plethora of life experiences, and I would be so honored to hold space for you if I could help you in any way.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I just, as I'm reflecting back on our conversation, I have a couple of things I want to share. And so one of them, I would really encourage everyone to put September 20th on the calendar. We'd be so honored if you leaned in and got a copy at the special $1.99 rate for the first 24, maybe 48 hours, depends on how long the special runs, but definitely those first 24 hours. And help us share it out. We really want to help reach as many people as possible, especially at this special rate, so that we can bring hope and encouragement in people's lives. And I'd love for us to also, if we get a copy, share a happy birthday message with Mackenzie too. What a beautiful way to give back, to share, to let her know that you got it, that you can start becoming that wing beneath her, that wind beneath her wings as well. So I just think that would be a really neat way for us to come together and to support an author that's stepping forward to really share and make a positive difference. So I would just encourage that. We're hoping to make your birthday wish, your solo book, becoming a bestseller or above by your birthday. So we're aligning with that intention and yay, and bringing that gift to you, which would be beautiful. I love it. And the other thing I know about Mackenzie, and are you okay do you trust me to share? The blind sharing?
100%. Share away.
Feedback means a lot to her. And if you read her book, if there's something in it that touches you, let her know. She'd love to know. Know that it mattered, that it made a difference. It can be in a private message. It doesn't need to be publicly. Or she's very sincere about that scheduling a time to talk. I mean, she really is here to support you. I hope you felt that and know that. But it makes such a difference when we let people know that something moved us. And I want to apply that not just to Mackenzie's book and to what she's bringing forward, but to remember that in our lives. When somebody encourages us, when somebody touches our heart, when something moves us, take that moment and let them know, oh, you just made my day, or that makes me happier. Thank you for noticing that. Take that moment to connect, to receive, to take it in, and to let people know that just being who they are, how they're showing up, what they are matters and encourages you and makes a difference in your life. And I think if we can remember to do that, heart by heart, life by life, we can make a global difference. It creates a ripple, one heart, one life at a time. So I want to encourage you. That's my extra credit bonus stretch challenge is when those moments happen. So be looking for them, because we can miss them because we're not looking sometimes. Be looking for those things. And that moment you can lift another, touch another, encourage. And it can be as simple as making eye contact and smiling. And even if you're wearing the masks, I want you to know that you can see the smile in the eyes and how they move. So smile with your eyes when you're making that eye contact and really connect with others. It makes a difference. And together we can bring our feathers together. We can create those powerful wings and we can encourage one another. Any final thought you'd like to share, Mackenzie?
I would just like to encourage anyone listening right now to really get excited, and maybe there's something in your life that you feel is uncomfortable and you're being called to something new or different. It's so intimate. It's so different from what you've seen other people around you doing. And maybe you're getting some negative feedback and feeling pulled away from it. I challenge you to stick with it and to keep doing and taking the steps that you're taking along that path, even though it might look weird, different, because you are being led somewhere intentionally. And just maybe take a moment and think if there's anything you're holding back from moving forward in your own life because others don't approve. And if so, that's not a good reason to stop what you're doing. I encourage you to take it back up. This is that little push I think you've been looking for. So, do not be deterred on this path.
I love that. Keep going. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, listeners, I want to thank you all for joining us today. Mackenzie, thank you for leaning into the conversation so openly and sharing. I appreciate it. Thrilled to have you, and I hope listeners you've enjoyed getting to know Mackenzie and you've been encouraged and uplifted. And I want you to remember that each of you matter. Each of you are needed. Just as you are, not someday, not one more certification, not one more eventually kind of thing. Right now, exactly as you are matters and is needed in the world. Wherever you are in that, know that we value you and you are making a difference in just being who you are. So lean into that. Be willing and courageous to share that. Reach out to others. Let's make that impact. One heart, one life, one smile, one eye smile, one connection, one feather at a time. And what I find is as we do that, it lifts our spirits too, and it encourages us. And we can create that wave, that movement around the world. So be willing to lean in fully to who you are and who you are becoming. Be willing to share that out in the world, and wherever you plant it, be willing to bloom and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.